Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parivacha Kachaya Shtotara Shata Shri Srimad Advaita Ravina Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namachaya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Seko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri 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 Prahlad Lakshmi Nrsimha Bhagavan Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. All glories to his assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ist das jetzt Chapi? Server Bhutana? Okay. Okay. Okay, who understands no German language? Anyone? No German? Yes. Yes. Okay. Versteht jemand kein Englisch? Okay. Kann jemand für unseren Parampurusha Prabhu übersetzen? Okay. Dankeschön. Okay, then first we chant the verse. Yatchapi sarva bhutana bijang tat aham arjuna na tat asti vinayat syan maya bhutang characharam Yatchapi sarva bhutana Bijang tat aham arjuna na tat asti vinayat syan maya bhutang characharam. Prabhus? Yatchapi sarva bhutana Bijang tat aham arjuna Yatchapi Okay. Yat, whatever. Cha, also. Api, maybe. Sarva Bhutanam, of all creations. Bijam, seed. Tat, that. Aham, I am. Arjuna, O Arjuna. No, na, not. Tat, that. Asti, there is. Vina, without. Yat, which. Syat, exists. Maya, me. Bhutam, created being. Chara acharam, moving and non-moving. Yes. So, I'm sorry, we just started. So, we're reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, translated and explained very nicely by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. And we're reading, this is chapter 10, The Opulence of the Absolute, text 39. And now we hear the translation. So Krishna is telling Arjuna here, furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. I have to read it one more time just to be focused myself. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Purport. Everything has a cause, and that cause or seed of manifestation is Krishna. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Therefore, he is called omnipotent. Without his potency, neither the movable nor the immovable can exist. Whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtang Stapitang Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayang Tadati Swapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaisnavangscha Shri Rupang Sagrajatang Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitang Savadutang Parijana Sahitang Krishna Chaitanya Devang Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kantana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutidevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanta Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. One more time, verse translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Hare Krishna. Okay. We thank everyone who has come here to join this auspicious occasion of Krishna Katha. I'm begging all of your sincere blessings that I may contribute to your Krishna consciousness and devotion to the Supreme Lord of your heart. So here it is said, Krishna is the generating seed of all existences. God is the generating seed of everything that exists. A seed is something interesting because it is very small, and as soon as the form which will manifest from that seed, it may be a human body, it may be a plant's body, it may be a different type of body, that seed is not visible anymore. So Krishna, he is the seed of everything. And in general, the seeds are something very small. Krishna is not small. He can, actually also he becomes very small. He can become as small as he likes. He can become as huge as he likes. Krishna can do anything, and he can also be the seed of everything that exists. So Krishna exists behind everything that manifests in our life, from one moment to the next, and from minute to the next, and 1 hour after another hour, also day after day, and week after week, month after month, years, and then you can go lifetimes, you can go for decades, you can go for millenniums, you can go for, actually even you can look at times of universes, because also it says the material universe, it's also a temporary mechanism, a temporary place. So, and all the time so many things are going on. So Krishna is behind all of that. And to be conscious of this all the time, that is Krishna consciousness. When we, like general human being, general person in this world, he will always be engaged with all the things that exist around him. Moving and non-moving things. So he will be engaged with, and Srila Prabhupada is speaking about without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. And actually, put into different words, actually everything is Krishna's energy. So, and in Sanskrit terminology, there is 2 words. Also, Shakti. Shakti means energy. And there is another word which is called Shaktiman. That means the possessor of energy. So everything that exists is the energy of God. And God is the person from whom this energy comes. Or energies. So many energies come from God. Krishna, he is a person, but he's also the origin of so many energies, who are also persons, ultimately. All of us are persons, and we are expansions of the Lord's energy. So, and general people in the material world, they consider the energy without considering the person behind the energy. And that is their mistake. That is the fault that we have, that we see the immediate manifestations of so many things in our day-to-day life, but we don't see the person behind. And then we think that this one small thing is so important. Or we may even think that this one person is so important. And it comes and it goes, like we mentioned before. You can look at time scale, you can look at the history of the universe, and then you have such a long distance. And then you think that this 1 minute in eternity is so important. And in material life, those things actually are not important, because they are not part of eternity. Whereas, as much as we become conscious of the person behind this material energy, then actually all this eternity, it becomes one moment. There is only one eternal moment in which we exist in our relationship with Krishna. And this moment is full of happiness and full of bliss and full of dynamics. It is not stagnant. It is not. Eternity is not boring. Eternity is very wonderful because it is not separate. It is not different from one moment of full consciousness. So, time as we understand it in the material sense, it does not exist in the spiritual dimension. So, and this one eternal moment which is full of happiness and full of concentrated consciousness, which is us, and which is Krishna, whom we are interacting with. To experience this, that is what we are made for. That is what we are made for. And all of us, I'm assuming, have come here because we have some glimpse of realization about this. And that is our aspiration to find for ourselves that access to this one moment which goes on forever. That is what we are looking for, more or less consciously. And that is what all living entities are looking for, more or less consciously. And this is achieved by our serious dedication to honest, sincere, serious voluntary dedication to what a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada has given us. Srila Prabhupada, he sees Krishna behind everything. And he is devising many ways to show us how we can also access that experience. And then, my own also today experiences, we fall in and out of our spiritual advancement. I heard this many times, never directly, but so many people quoted this. One disciple of Srila Prabhupada at the time, he told him, "Dear Srila Prabhupada, sometimes I'm in Maya," which means I forget Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada answered, No, you're always in Maya. Sometimes you fall into Krishna. So, and if we are not very experienced, if we are not very learned in the science of devotional service, then that is our position. We chant some Hare Krishna, we don't eat meat, we whatever bad habits, gross bad habits we had before taking to Krishna conscious practice, we leave aside. But actually, this leaving aside unnecessary things, disturbing elements, it has to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Like we had the Bhakti Shastri course last week on the nectar of instruction, and second verse is telling 6 things. They will destroy your devotional service. They will destroy your bhakti. They will destroy your relationship with God. No? It says unnecessary speaking, unnecessary eating, unnecessary endeavor, meaning too much of those things also. So, and and as much, and then there's things which are positive, like okay, Rupa Goswami or Shastra is telling us, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, and one may feel a little like, but what can I do? And then the answer is the next verse, that you should have certain mood, attitude, determination. I'm to be enthusiastic, which means to endeavor with intelligence, to endeavor with idea. I want to achieve a goal. I want to move forward in life. So, Utsaha Nishchayat, have confidence that this makes sense. So, by good association, we gain confidence that Krishna consciousness is a wonderful thing. First of all, we will see the persons who are accomplished in devotional service, and they are a shining example. Advanced devotees, or any devotee ultimately, is an effulgent personality, and they're different from people who don't care about Krishna. And what to speak of those who are very accomplished, very advanced, very mature. They're so attractive people. And then also by association, we have our own experience of Krishna consciousness. When we hear from such persons, when we chant in the association of such persons, and yes, and observe how everything that this person is doing is pointing towards Krishna. That is a pure devotee. Every single movement of that person is indicating Krishna's existence. So by such association we gain. Actually everything comes from such association. We gain enthusiasm for devotional service. We gain confidence that yes, this is proper, this is good, this is meaningful, this is real, this is higher than other things. And patience we need. And then, for what? Then we do devotional service. We hear about Krishna, we chant about Krishna. If we can leave aside all these detrimental things and fully absorb in those positive activities of devotional service, that is mature. That is mature. Like there's nothing else. In Bhagavad Gita also, anyway, Krishna is saying that he's speaking about different kinds of performance of yajna, sacrifice. And yajna is meant ultimately for, what is Krishna is saying? Yajna shishta... Yajna shishta... Yajna Shishta Amrita Bhuja. And then the rest of the verse I don't remember. But Yajna, I found these words so interesting. Yajna Shishta means the remnant or the outcome from sacrifice, the result of what we are endeavoring, of our endeavors. There is result. And then Amrita Bhuja means a person who tastes the nectar of the result of his endeavors. So, how did I get there? Yes, so there are different kinds of yagas, and this is what it's for, to taste this result, to have that experience, which we already indicated, this transcendental experience, transcendental consciousness, Krishna consciousness ultimately. And then there are different, so there's nectar in sacrifice, there's nectar in spiritual activities, and then there is a list of different kinds of yajna, different kinds of sacrifice. And one is that is the sacrifice of the person who basically the I will just look at this. Yes, so some sacrifice the hearing process and the senses, meaning basically all sensual activities, in the fire of mental control. And in the word, and in the Sanskrit also, actually it's fires. And I've thought about this because from moment to moment, actually, our senses, they want to move, they want to do something. And if we engage them in devotional activities, then they are channeled nicely. Sensual activities are channeled nicely. And as much as our senses are engaged in devotional activities, especially our mind, as soon as the mind becomes engaged in thinking about Krishna and service for Krishna, everything else becomes very natural. Like the eyes will only go, like whatever service you have, the eyes will only look at the things which you need to do your service. The legs will only move for that sake. And you will speak only for that. So as much as we do that, we become so satisfied and fulfilled and completely aloof from anything that disturbs. Actually, it is like that. And as much as we fall out of this, then all these things come. Unnecessary eating, unnecessary talking. They all come as much as we fall out of that great fulfillment of devotional service. So we should hanker for this experience where a whole, and then it's again this one moment, eternal, where everything is just moving towards Krishna, our whole existence always moving towards Krishna. That is what we aspire for. That is what will make, first of all, it will fulfill our senses. Actually, when a man works in this material world, he becomes exhausted, right? Normally we work and then we become exhausted. But as much as we are engaged in devotional service, we don't become exhausted. It is guaranteed. And as much as we become exhausted in our activities, it is guaranteed that in our activities, you can check Nectar of Instruction, verse 2, 6 things. Which one are you doing? Because of that, you're not strong. Because of that, you get tired from your activities. Or you lose enthusiasm. As much as we are fully online with devotional activities, fully aligned, fully engaged, that much we don't become tired, we don't become weak. And then we hear stories about like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was, or let's say Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his appearance days or disappearance days approaching soon in our calendar. We hear that he went to bed at 11 o'clock and at 7 o'clock in the evening he went to bed, and then he got up at which time? What do you think?
8:30 or something.
I mean, there may be different periods of his life also, of course. What I heard, at 10 even, wow. I heard 11. Okay, so he got up maybe at 10, maybe at 11. So he slept like 3 hours, 4 hours. And before midnight he was again awake. He was living like this, from day to day, not one day, every day. He would so little sleep. We see that in Srila Prabhupada also. Not sleeping a lot, sleeping very little. Going to bed at 10 o'clock, rising at 1 o'clock, translating for 5 hours. And then throughout the day, meeting so many people, speaking to so many people, doing so many things. So that's a pure devotee. A pure devotee, he has so much energy. He's bursting with energy. And he doesn't become tired. The body may become tired, yes. I heard this about Srila Prabhupada also in early days when he was in New York. He would, as I said, in the day he would take time for people who came to see him, asking questions about spiritual life, and he would speak with them. And then sometimes he had a chadar, like something like a blanket, and then he, in the middle of the conversation, he would just put the shutter over his head, he would lie down, and for 5 minutes he was gone. Like resting, one could say. And then after 5 minutes, he got up again, and showed his head, and continued to speak the sentence where he stopped. So the body may be exhausted, this is natural, but the person in the body doesn't become exhausted. So that is advancement. And we should hanker for such advancement, and to have that experience which is not easy. But we should hanker for that, we should try that. Okay, normally our standard is that we have lectures until 7:30, so I went 25 minutes over. I'm very sorry. Yes, so thank you for being here. Maybe anyone would like to add something or ask some question. Otherwise, anyone who feels that he has to go, then please, you take your leave.
I have some questions.
Yes.
I'll give you a microphone.
No, it's okay.
For the live stream. Okay.
I can also repeat it.
Yes, please.
Wenn du willst, kannst du ja auch schon ausmachen, wie du möchtest.
I have two questions.
Yes, sir.
The first question is, here Krishna saying, I am the generating seed of all existences, and he says nothing exists without me. Is it only the material aspect or the spiritual aspect? Because spiritually, as Atmas, we are ever existing, with or without, I think. Right? So does this only means about material existence? Because he says nothing exists without me. So Atmas can be exist anywhere, with or without our thinking. Without accepting Krishna, they still exist. How to understand this better?
I would say if you want a very analytical answer, you have to ask someone who knows Sanskrit well and who can read the whole chapter and the text and see the context. I'm sure you can give better answer to your question than me. But what I'm seeing here is the word translations. There's bhutam, created being. And created means generally like material bodies given. So, and I would say Krishna is speaking about phenomena of the material world, right? He gave a list of so many things. So I would say maybe, I don't know. It can mean both, but I would say it tends to relate here to the material world.
The second question is, the last line, Prabhupada is saying, whatever existence is not found on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, but Maya is also an energy of Krishna.
Whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya. That which is not.
So this,
Yes. You want me to speak about this? Or what is your...
because he says, whatever existence is not on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, but Maya is also energy of Krishna. But external energy and internal energy. So maybe to understand this better.
Yes, Maya is Krishna's energy. Maya means illusion. So this cover of our consciousness is also Krishna's energy. And actually, whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is that which is not. That means that does not exist. That anything is there without Krishna, that does not exist.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
My question is because soon we have Hatha Yatra, and I wanted to ask you if you maybe can say something about Subhatra, because he's Krishna Ganesh, but maybe you know something, I don't know anything about her.
I don't feel qualified. I don't know. Maybe you can discuss later on. You can discuss separately. I don't want to keep others from leaving. Okay. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.